All right, y'all. Welcome into this week's Veteran Awareness Project Q&A, live workshop, whatever you may want to call it. Basically, today we're going to be getting into Nexus letters, just giving a general explanation of what Nexus letters are, how they work, how they're supposed to be filled out, stuff like that. We try to do some research on trying to find a specific spot in the regulation where to find it. It was hard to do, so I'm still trying to figure out what it is and where that information is I'm supposed to find it at. But I do have a template of basically what it works like. We have announcements for. We always got to start off with announcements. Um, so announcements for this week. Our website will be up and running on the 1st of January. We still got a lot of work to do on it, but the website will be up so that way basically you'll be able to find information. You'll be able to message, contact me. Currently, we were doing a free hour consultation. We had to revise that for legal matters and stuff like that. So we won't be doing that at the time till we solidify how we're going to be doing that, so that way we can actually assist people in a better way and do it in a legal way where there's formalities and documentation and stuff like that. So that way it's essential for veterans to actually have that information and know what's going on, and it's not information that is not I would say a surprise, I guess you can say. But this way, it's just basically a way to find information for you as a veteran to understand this is what's going on. This is the information you're going to get. Um, Favorite color of crayon, somebody just wanted to ask. Purple. But this is basically what we do every Sunday. So every Sunday we do free workshops. So basically, if you have questions when it comes to veteran affairs, VA entitlements, VA exemptions, tax exemptions, stuff like that. If you have questions like that, what we do here is we make sure to point you in the right direction. We make sure to take you to where the regulation shows you where this information is. I'm not one of those VA consultants or something like that. I'm doing this for free every Sunday. I'm not going to charge you thousands of dollars. I'm not going to charge you hundreds of dollars. If it's one on one, then yes, then there may be a charge, but it's not going to be no outrageous thing where, hey, I'm asking for like 25% of your back pay or something like that, which a lot of these claim sharks like to do, which is basically detrimental and preying on veterans that actually need the assistance and need probably the financial resources and all the other availabilities that are there for them, but it's being stripped and like taken advantage of on the fact that it's just like you're trying to tell me that you need to charge a veteran for this information, which is it's literally free. All this information is free. It's just basically finding it. And that's the problem I think a lot of veterans have, that they don't know where to go to, they don't know where to find these resources, where these resources are located, or where most of this information is actually at. So the main thing is basically the more we can educate veterans, the more we can teach veterans like, hey, this is what's going on. This is how you can take advantage of the benefits that you earned while serving. I think it's beneficial to do it that way, where I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not going to charge you a crazy fee just to get you information that it's basically it's free information. This is information that you can find, but the thing is with most veterans and a lot of veterans, the problem lies in, hey, where do I find said information? What are the regulations? Where do I look? What documentation do I need? Um, and sometimes it's the outside the box thinking that a lot of people don't get. A lot of these, you'll see a lot of channels that'll go into the whole, yes, do this to get 100%. This doesn't work for everybody. The thing is you have to educate yourself on how to get yourself to 100%. The tricks and gimmicks and the schemes doesn't work for everybody. Not everybody can get to 100% just off of these gimmicks and these things that these people basically portray and try to put out there. So that's one thing that people need to realize. A lot of the information that's there, it's available to you. You just don't know how to use it and never looked at it. Most people don't know that there's a code of federal regulations which covers how you get your ratings, what the percentage is of the rating you can get, and the number. There's also the manual that is used by the VA to basically explain and like, hey, this is how you get this information. This is how we regulate the information. This is what's needed. This is what's required. This is definition of what you have. And the thing is a lot of people don't understand that, and a lot of people don't view that. And I think that's one of the things that makes it difficult for veterans. It's not knowing. Most of the time, I've said this in almost every single one of these previous lives. When it comes to you being a veteran, or when you're in the process of becoming a veteran, the biggest thing you want to do is get the fuck out. That's the easiest way of putting it. The easiest and the fastest thing you want to do is get out the fucking army. You want to get your DD 214 and you want to get the fuck out. You don't care about anything else. You don't care about what's going on. You want your household goods to be done. You want you want to go to CIF and you want to turn in all your gear, even though the civilians, which now we see how they do. Good afternoon, Sharon. You see that? No, I want to get rid of this shit. I want to turn this shit in. Yes, you're going to say it's dirty, even though I got a damn power washed and everything. You're still going to claim it's dirty and kick me back. I was just like, you go through such an ordeal to get yourself out of the military that when it comes to dealing with the VA, you get to the point like, you know what? I don't want to deal with this shit. I don't know what to do. I don't care. Give me my DD 214. I'm out. What's up, Annette? And that's the biggest thing, and that's the thing that people need to realize. That's where we start falling into the problem. That's where we start having these issues because of the fact that it's just we're so tired and we're so aggravated with the process of just getting out that they make it so difficult to get out. And depending sometimes on your leadership, it could be some assist you on the way out, some don't give a shit about you on the way out. And at the same time, that goes into the fact where it's just like, hey, I still need to get out. I still need to take care of myself. I still need to prepare myself. The Soldier for Life, what they call now, is not as good as it should be. A lot of veterans back in the day didn't get these programs that they have now. And the thing is the problem is a lot of veterans are still upset at the fact of their time in service. So they don't want anything to do with the VA because they see it as, damn, the VA is an extension of the military. I had a shit ass time there. I'm going to have a shit ass time here. And that's not always true. You have to look at it in the fact that some VAs do suck. There's no denying that. And some VAs are great. Some doctors are great. Some doctors are terrible. Some CMP examiners, the compensation and pension examiners, are shit. They don't do a good job. Some of them do an amazing job. Some of them do go above and beyond. Some do the bare minimum. Some of them, like we like to classify them, were shitbags. Some of them were high speed. Now, the whole thing is that you have to be high speed when it comes to your disability claims. You have to be high speed and on top of your disability claims. The CMP examiner don't care about it. The same way the military didn't care when they were letting you out. They didn't care about it. You are the one that's making sure to take care of these issues. You're the one that's making sure this has to be taken care of. I have to make sure my documentation is okay. I have to make sure my information is correct. I have to make sure I have a diagnosis. I make sure I have a Nexus letter, which is what we're going to be going into today. Those are the things that are important. But like I said, you just want it out. Because remember, the VA does reach out to you. A lot of y'all forget about that. The VA did reach out to you at first when you first got out. And it was probably like a little brief statement or something. They called you just like, oh, we just wanted to call to see if, you needed anything from us. It was like, fuck no. Leave me the fuck alone. I didn't say that. I wanted to. I was just like, I can't be mad at this lady for calling me to try to give me information. But fuck no. Leave me the hell alone. I don't want to talk to y'all. And that's something that a lot of people don't realize. We have that. We give off that energy. It's just like, we don't want nothing to do this. But the thing is they do ask. But the other problem is that a lot of veterans just don't know what we're supposed to ask for. You get into this and it's just like, hey, yeah, I need assistance, but I don't know what I need assistance with. I don't know what I need to ask. I don't know what my benefits are. I don't know what entitlements I get. I don't know what resources are available because this wasn't explained to me. So it's basically you're telling me, hey, I got stuff that I can tell you, but you need to ask for it. The problem is that most veterans don't know what they're asking for or don't know who to ask. And then it becomes a, damn. I was just like, damn, this was available. Because look, a lot of these resources and stuff like that, when we go over it in this channel on YouTube, I'm live on TikTok also. When we do these lives, there's so many veterans that come in here that don't know information that I'm just putting out, and some of it is just basic information. Some of it is more in depth, that is stuff that you have to, do a little deeper dive into to get the information. But a lot of the information is just clear cut, simple identifiers that most veterans is just like don't know. When it comes to being 100% P&T, that's one thing. When you are 100% TDIU, which some people didn't even know they can get 100% pay, but then they don't know the restrictions that go with it. So there's those little things. It's just like there's 4 different types of 100%, and most people don't even know that. Most people just think it's just like you get to 100%, there's 100% P&T. It's not, it doesn't work that way. There's 100% P&T, permanent and total, which means the VA recognizes that all the issues you have are not going to get better. They understand that with all the stuff you got, it's not going to get better. Your health may deteriorate, or the issues you have may deteriorate over time. You have scheduler, which is basically you made it to 100%. Basically, your percentage is above 95. But at the same time, the VA sees it that, yes, you made it to over 100 or basically at 95, but the issues you have may get better. They're not issues that are automatically going to continue to worsen. These are issues that may get better. Then you have temporary. The temporary one is basically when you go to, let's say, get surgery. If you get a surgery and they understand, hey, you're going to go through surgery, whether it's hip replacement, shoulder replacement, anything like that. When they find stuff like that, they'll see that. And then it's just like, you know what? Okay, now we understand that you are not going to be able to do the things you regularly do on said date to this time period. So you'll be temporarily paid at the 100% mark. Let's say you get a shoulder surgery and your shoulder is going to be, under rehab, you're going to go through the process and all that, and it may be 6 months. They will put you on a temporary 100% for those 6 months. So basically, you could have been at 40, you could have been at 30, you could have been at whatever else. They're going to bump it up to 100% because they know during this time period of rehab and physical therapy and all that stuff, you are not going to be able to be employed. So they cover you at the 100%. Then there's the TDIU, which is the unemployability. That is one of the ones that most veterans fail to acknowledge and fail to realize that it's a lot easier to get to than it is to get to 100%. The drawback that comes from being TDIU is you can only make enough money for the year that is at the poverty level line. The poverty level line is right now at like 15,200, 300, which to me, I still find that to be a ridiculous number in the day and age that we are, that the poverty line is 15,000 when I don't know how anybody survives on 15,000 through anything in this country. 15,000 is not anything for somebody to live off of. But that is the restriction that you have when you're TDIU. You can get paid at the 100% mark, but if you are working, the most you can make off of work is only at 15,000. Can't go over that. If you go over that, you will get hit with taxes. They will go after the fact that it was just like, hey, you're 100%, but you're TDIU, which means you were unemployable. So since you were unemployable, we are giving you the 100% mark, but you can't make over 15,000. Now, there's different stipulations and stuff like that. There's stuff that's going through right now that is going through the courts where they're trying to designate how the TDIU works and how people can get paid or what they can't get paid. Is it because of their disability? Is it because there's restrictions on how they work? Like, there's different stuff that they're going through, and that's in the courts right now. There's people that are basically going against it because of the fact that they made over that $15,000. They were 100%, but they made over $15,000, which I think it's a very interesting thing because you may be unemployable, but I think the TDIU is basically to the point where you are employed, you can't get a job. The thing is there's certain jobs that don't mess with your disabilities as much. Like me, if I'm doing these lives, this doesn't hurt my disability. Yeah, it does bother when I'm sitting down for a whole long time, but then you will see me get up every now and then, or I'll take medication before I start these to make sure I can sit through these. But that's a different instance there. That's I'm being able to work here, I can earn money through YouTube or through TikTok or through a website once it's finished. And it's just like I can make a certain amount, but then it's just like, okay, if I made this amount, why is it being held against me? So that's kind of one of the things that they're trying to go through and stuff like that. Arnold Ingram says, lower back issues, 40 years trying to get compensation. Use DAV, zero compensation for being a former paratrooper. Arnold, so the one thing that this is the one thing that I realize when it comes to older veterans, the issue where a lot of it lies is that most of those records that you have when you're an older veteran, you don't find them. It's hard to find. It's hard to make that connection when it's your older veteran. The thing is you have to work on the documentation. That's where it begins. Because the thing is it's hard like you said, you've been looking for it for 40 years. It's hard to get that information because for 40 years you did not maintain a track record of your medical information. Because the thing is that's one of the things that makes it easier for older veterans, but the thing is it's damn near impossible because most veterans don't pay attention to that. Most veterans are not going to hold their medical records, and very rarely do you see anybody have a medical professional, a private doctor, or anything like that that spans that whole time. So what you're working on is finding information. But when it comes to that, like I said, you have buddies. If you still have buddies around, anybody that you knew served with you, anybody that you knew jumped with you, stuff like that. You have to get those buddy statements. You also have to include a personal statement, which hold on, give me a sec. I gotta go to my website because I have it. I'm starting it on the website. I'm putting all that information, and I'm gonna be providing all these VA forms. So on the website, you'll be able to go to resources. Matter of fact, let me show y'all. It's not up yet, but I'm gonna show y'all. Let's go here. So this is basically what the website looks like. This is what the website looks like. This is what it's going to start. Veteran Awareness Project. Here, just going down. It's still, like I said, it's still a work in progress. I showed people this a thing, where we are, the little clicks. What are your questions? Basically, this will be a frequently asked questions, and I will be making videos for those frequently asked questions. So that basically the most commonly asked questions through the VA or through veterans asking, I'm going to make videos on it. You'll be able to click on this, but the page isn't up and running yet, so it's not going to go through. But you have all this. It'll have the disability rates, which a lot of people tend to view and ask for. And then you have ready to understand, stuff like that, and then how to support the page. But we'll have it here where you'll go to resources and you'll go to VA forms. VA forms. So with the VA forms, you're going to have a breakdown of every form that I can find, because the thing is it's damn near impossible to find it on the VA form through the va.gov. So what I'm doing is I'm building a resource for veterans to basically be able to, hey, I need a form, whatever the form may be. I don't know what to look for. I don't know what can benefit me. You'll be able to check in here, check on the website, check on the link, and you'll be able to find the VA form you need. I'm trying to, like I was saying before, I'm trying to add a search option to it, so you'll be able to search for it. But that's a whole different tier, and I'm not about to pay for a whole different, like, it's an expensive tier just to add a search option. But I'm trying to find other ways around that. But that way, you'll be able to go through the VA forms and you'll be able to find it. You'll have a downloadable link, so you'll be able to download it, whether it's on your phone, on your computer, and you'll be able to fill it out. When it comes to your situation, Arnold, what you would want to do is a lay witness statement or your own statement. And you would click on this. That is VA Form 21-10210. You'll be able to use that. You'll click it, and then you'll make your own statement. Basically, this is just being filled out, and it's just I'm continuing to just build up on this. And this is another one, the statement in support of claim. The VA Form 21-4138. This is one that most veterans fail to fill out and don't realize that it's just as important as everything else. This is a statement where you yourself are providing the information that helps you. It's not the doctor. It's not the VA. It's nothing like this. Is you. You are taking the time to write down and state in your statement what it is and how it is affecting you. This is your opportunity to basically paint that picture. Remember, VA form 21-4138. I'm still working on it so that I'll be able to provide these on y'all just by like a click of a button, and it'll pop up on the thing. We're still working on that. It's still still a thing. But that's one thing that is just like this form is very important for people. This is something that a lot of veterans don't use. This is something that veterans need to um keep in mind, that it's just like you are using this to paint a picture. No, pink. Sorry. Let me drink some coffee. Okay, like I was saying, you are doing this to paint a picture for the VA Raider. You got to keep in mind, the VA Raider don't know who you are. The VA Raider has never seen you before, has never spoken to you before, has no idea what you go through, has no idea what your ailments are, except for what is being provided to him via the VA. Whether that's via the CMP exam, via your documentation, your information, that's what it is. This statement, the VA form, the 4138 statement in support of claim, this is you adding to what's already documented. This is you stating that, hey, this is how it affects me. I do this. I can't do this. I have back issues where it limits me and stuff. I've spoken to a bunch of people also, just like, hey, it limits me in the fact that I can't cut my grass. That's a statement there. It looks overgrown. It looks unkept. It makes it look like I'm not able to take care of myself. Stuff like that. That's stuff that you can put in a statement where it's just like, you know what? The VA Raider's not going to know that. The CMP examiner, I can probably tell you, is not writing that down as a specific thing, but this is something that you are putting in addition. Also, if you like what you're hearing, please make sure to like, subscribe, share this out so we can get more veterans aware and stuff like that and give them more information. Please make sure to like the stream so that way it passes it on and gets sent out to other people also, so that it can reach more people and we can get more veterans informed and get them more information. But like I said, that's just like the little bit of the website that we're basically developing to basically assist veterans in that way, so that it has all that information. Because like it's like I'm a broken record at times. I always say these throughout these streams. A lot of the times the issues that we have is we don't know where to find these resources. We don't know that these resources exist. If you knew that you can write a personal statement, that helps paint a picture. You can also do a witness statement, which is a buddy statement, which was form give me 1 second. What form is that? That was the 21 10, this one right here. That's this form here. A buddy statement. If you have buddies, the thing is that a lot of people tend to hear buddy statement and they think it's just the people you served with. A buddy statement can't be written by your spouse. A buddy statement can't be written by your kids, your neighbor. It is a witness statement. It is somebody acknowledging and viewing and seeing the issues that you are going through, the stuff that you find difficult, the stuff that you are having a harsh time to do. This is what you're finding. This is the information you're getting. This is what you're having somebody else basically corroborate with what you're saying. Because yes, you have the diagnosis, you have the stuff, but sometimes that doesn't show the service connection. But the main thing is service connection. You have to make sure that you are connecting it to your time in service. So whether it's like, hey, if you've been married for 40 years, you have a wife for 40 years, she was there through it all. And that is a statement you can put and she can write up. I've known him since this time. We've been married for this long. We've been talking about this. He's been having these issues for the past 40 something years. He has been seen. He has gone to the doctor. He has been on medication for so long. I help him, remind him to take the medication, even when he says he doesn't want to, when he wants to fight through the pain. Stuff like that, statements like that are statements that paint that picture to that VA rater like, wow, okay. You got to remember, a picture doesn't say much. Because I can show you a picture of my dislocated, of my bulging disc. You're going to be like, oh, that's a bulging disc. What else do you get off of that picture? What other information do you get off of that picture of a dislocated disc, a bulging disc, a protruding disc, a sliding disc? What other stuff does it do that? Black Mass asks, how does TDIU work? Can it be a combo, or is it just for TDIU? You have to have a basically diagnosis and claims of basically it has to equal at 70%. So basically, if you have one disability that's at 70% or a combination that adds to 70% and you have one of at least 40, it's basically that deteriorating to you that you cannot work. But then you also have to show the fact that you cannot be employed. You can't work. You can't hold a job because of it. If it's because of back issues, it's like you can't stand or you can't sit too long or you have to have certain accommodations, that leads into it. But it's basically you are getting TDIU because you are unemployable. And that's what people need to realize. You may have the different disabilities and the different claims, but if they do not render you to the fact that you are unemployable, TDIU is not as easy to get. Like, yes, you have it. It's a better route to use to try to get to 100%. But keep in mind, it's because you are unable to work. 100% P&T, you're able to work, but your disabilities are static, meaning they are not going to get better. And they also are at that level where it's just like, you know what? He can work, but he can hold a job, but he can't do too much because this ailment might do it, this might do it. And you got to remember, there's over, if you look at the CFR, which I'll show y'all real quick. If y'all don't know this, this is what y'all need to look at. And I'll put this in the chat. That's what y'all need to look at. That is your how-to guide. This is your information on where that is, what your percentages are, what percentages you can get. If you're fighting for an increase, what of an increase you can actually get, or is it even possible to get an increase? Because that's a lot of the things. A lot of people think that it's the main thing is claiming all this stuff. Keep claiming all this stuff. Keep claiming all this stuff. Keep claiming. You don't need to necessarily claim all that stuff. You need to make sure. So Jason Motley asked the question, hello, I'm TDIU, but they put me P&T. Does that mean that my TDIU is permanent rather than the 2 years I was initially told about? Jason, in your case, it's not that you are TDIU anymore. You are now P&T. You are now 100% P&T. If they are changing it from TDIU to P&T, that means you are 100% P&T. There's no more TDIU. There's no more dealing with that. The total 2 year thing, you are now P&T. It's basically changing it because basically with the issues you had and the stuff, it got you to 100% P&T. Because if you're TDIU, that means you didn't get that 100% or past 95% basically. If you were TDIU. Now, what the issues you have gotten you to the point where you are over that 95% mark. So you got the ratings to get that 100%, and now they're basically stating it as P&T. When it comes to that, you got to make sure that you're checking your codes, the diagnostic, which is your C file. And I forget how you request it. You're only at 80%. Have they changed stuff, Jason? So I'm gonna ask you that. Have they changed any information? So basically, if you were TDIU, you had your stuff. Have you been seen? Have you been filing claims? Has it changed? Because sometimes that notification takes a bit for them to send it to you that, hey, you're 100% now. Because you don't go from TDIU to P&T and it goes back and forth. Basically, if you're P&T, you're 100% P&T. That's that. So that's why I would double check, Jason, to make sure, like you're saying you're at 80%. Check to see if any of your stuff that maybe you filed a claim, maybe your stuff got updated and you haven't received that yet. Because remember, they'll make those changes and they'll up it, but it'll take time. But if it's to try to take your money, I bet you they say that shit quick. So that's one thing you need to make sure. Check your documentation. Check the information that they're sending you. Because it should give you an explanation as to why it changed. Because you shouldn't just go, you don't go from TDIU to PNT just off of them changing it if you haven't gotten to 100%. So whatever it is that you probably have has probably raised. No, when I look at my numbers, it's 80% as of 2 days ago, but I'm paid at 100% of. Well, that's the thing. You're gonna get paid at 100% regardless. If you're TDIU, that means you will get paid at 100% going forward, regardless of there's not gonna be any changes to that. That's gonna continue to happen. You're gonna get that. No matter how long, as long as you're TDIU, it's basically you're saying you're unemployable, you're gonna get paid at the 100% mark till either you file for increases, which may raise it to get you to 100% P&T. Because the thing is you're probably TDIU and getting paid at the 100%, and that's why you may think that you're P&T. Because if there's no documentation saying that you are now permanent and totally disabled, that's the difference. Because you gotta remember, when they send you that ratings letter, though, the easiest way to distinguish the stuff, it's basically when you receive your letter is going to basically state if your dependents and spouse have education benefits. So when you look at that, it'll say yes on there. So it's going to say, appreciate that, Jason. It's going to have that on there. So it's going to say dependents and education benefits or something like that, and then it's going to say yes. If it says yes, that is the easiest way for veterans to identify the fact that they are now permanent and total. Because the thing is if you're TDIU, you're going to get paid at the 100% mark regardless. There's no change in that. Now, if you file for increases and stuff like that, or you file for more stuff and they connect it and it pushes you to 100%, then from there, they'll switch you over to P&T. But P&T and TDIU, two different things. You're still getting paid at the 100% level. The thing is the benefits change when it comes from TDIU to 100% P&T. Because TDIU, you're basically getting paid at the 100% mark, and you have that $15,000 restriction in income. You get to 100% P&T, there's no income restrictions. You are able to sign your family up for CHAMP VA, which is a secondary medical insurance. You get the DEA benefits, the Chapter 35, which your dependents and spouse can go to school and get a monthly stipend while they're in school, which is tax-free. What else is there? Most of the time when you become 100% P&T, depending on your state, that's when they have like property tax exemptions. Some depending on the state, it goes, hey, this is the percentage you get this percent off on your assessed value, stuff like that. So it depends on state and it depends on that. So that varies and changes it. So that's something to always pay attention to. But that's why most people strive to, hey, let's make sure I get to 100% P&T because of those additional benefits that come through it. You also get free dental through 100% P&T. I don't know exactly how much they do, but like cleanings and stuff like that. Yes, that's another one of the ones that people the forgiveness of student loans. So basically you become 100% P&T. So this is one thing see this is one thing, Jason. So yes, that is there, but this is one thing that most veterans don't realize, don't understand with your loan forgiveness. So when you get the loan forgiveness, you're going to get loan forgiveness, but you can also defer the loan forgiveness. And that's one thing that a lot of veterans don't know. You can actually defer your loans being forgiven. So let's say right now you were serving, you got some of your school done, And now you want to use your GI Bill. Said everything you mentioned so far you get for TDIU. You do not get I do not believe you get the Chapter 35 benefits as TDIU. And Champ VA, I don't think you get also. That's why there's a big difference between that. I don't believe you get those things. You do not get everything. That's why there's the distinction between the TDIU and the permanent and total. The same benefits do not apply for both. I can assure you that. Let's see where is this. Give me a sec. I'm looking for it. Dental is full. I just had two teeth pulled and I will be getting crowns, no cost. Chapter 34. So that's chapter 34. That's a different one. That's not chapter 35. And your TDIU, Jonathan, and you're getting those benefits? Because that's, I find that weird. Hold on. Let me see if I can find that. I'm I'm looking it up. Cause I've been trying to. That's unemployable. That's weird. Yeah, because when I look it up, TDIU does not include educational benefits for dependents, unless the TDIU is also granted with the P&T. So if you're TDIU but you're also P&T because of it, because of the fact that they know it's not going to get any better, then that's the case. So that might be the case for you also, Jason, because it says if you don't make enough to get insurance and I'm unemployable. So the thing is so you do get the same benefits. Okay, so correction, my bad, I was wrong on that one. Because that's why when I look it up, it says provides compensation at the 100%, but Chapter 35, unless P&T is also granted. So basically, there is no difference between 100% P&T and TDIU. Because then that makes it okay. I just learned something then. Yes. So that's aware to me. I thought there was a distinction between those, that you didn't get those same benefits. So like I was saying with the school loans, this is the one thing that people don't understand with the I don't get it. Vocab rehab, to get the vocational, not the vocation, it's a veteran readiness and employment. You just have to be 10% and be honorably discharged. It's a different way to get it. Okay, and then I wasn't sure on that. I always thought that it was just like a distinction that you did not get every single one of those benefits. So then basically the only thing that's different is that you can only make up to 15,000 of the TDIU, and then that's it. Because if you get the same benefits, then it's weird that most veterans don't go for TDIU instead of just reaching for the 100%. That's why I was trying to find a distinction. I was just like, because it makes it interesting then, because then it's just like most veterans should just go for TDIU instead of trying to get to 100% permanent total. Let's see, because this is on the VA. That's the problem when you go through the VA site. Like I'll show you. This is what you get. Yes, it is. I understand it is harder to get TDIU because you have to have that restriction. But at the same time, and then you can say it's hard to get. It's hard to get both. The thing is with TDIU, I know you have to have a at least a 40% mark, and then the rest of it add to 70% to get it, or you have something designated as 70. And then the hard part about that is that when you look at the CFR, there is not a lot of stuff when you look at the ratings that can get you there. So yes, the VRE, you can use the VRE program. That is something that can be used, and that something helps you. The thing is with that, remember, if you're using the VRE, that is tax free compensation, so that doesn't count towards what you're making. Because the 15,000 that you can make is taxable income. So you can only make $15,000 working on something. You cannot make more than that. But if it's untaxed money, you get that. So that's where it's different. So it's just like you have to do that. And I think I was looking at the form that did that too. Did I put it on here? Yeah, request for employment information in connection with claim for disability benefits. So you can use that one. Or veterans application for increased compensation based on unemployability. That's form 21-8940 and 21-4192. So those are two different forms there that are used in that process. So that way that I did know. But like I said, getting to it, it's getting the claims and getting the documentation, getting the Nexus letter. But let me before I keep on getting sidetracked. So with your college loans, if you are going to use your college loan to your forgiveness, hold off on it. Don't use it right away. What people don't realize what you can do is this is a one-time deferment that you receive for your school loans. What people don't realize is that you can go to school again, take out school loans, and then have those paid off. So literally, if you choose to, the thing is different because you using your GI Bill, you'll get your BAH with that. But let's say you did your time in service, you got out, and you wanted to, hey, I'm gonna go to school. I don't want to use my loan forgiveness right now. So what's gonna happen? You would take out more school loans, and you will go to school. So let's say it's another 4-year degree or 2-year degree or whatever the case may be. You take out the loans on that. Then from there, you got to make sure those are federal loans. Now those are being added to your previous loans. Now you can complete that, let's say, bachelor's degree. You completed your bachelor's degree. Now you can file for your loans to be removed. So literally, you'll go to school for 4 years or 2 years, get that degree, then waive that, and then you can use the VRE to get a master's degree, or use your GI Bill. Or remember, it's best to use the VRE because the VRE does the same thing, and it's the long track one for employment purposes, where you get basically the same benefits as the GI Bill, but you're not using your GI Bill. You use that, you get another degree, then you can use your GI Bill, get another degree, and you're just multiplying yourself and making your resume build up even better, where you're able to use all these resources. You're still getting paid the monthly BAH with the VRE and through the GI Bill, and do it that way. But also, if you decided to go back to school and take out more loans, you do it that way. If you're 100% PNT and you received increases in 4 disabilities, 30, 30, 20, and 10 equals 70. Yeah, my effective date is. So basically, what you're saying is you filed for increases on 10/18/2023, and they found them to be updated, and it made you become things. So basically, when you file for it, that is your effective date. The effective date would be 10/18/2023. If you are now 100% PNT, that means that you should get retroactive pay going back to October 18th of 2023. Because the thing is that is your effective date of when you filed for those increases. That's why those effective dates are very big. No matter how long it takes, that's why it's best don't file another claim. Wait till those claims get done. If you know you can get to 100%, because then from there, that effective date. So now it is basically saying you became, but then you should also get that on your letter stating that you are effective as of said date. And that's when they will back pay you towards it. It should be October 18th of 2023. But in the letter, it will say that you are now 100% P&T effective date of, and they backdated to when that claim was. So if the claim was done and you have nothing else that was changed, you didn't file for anything else, the effective date will be October 18th of 2023. And you can do it that way. And so you should receive back pay. Okay, let's get into what we're gonna get into because before I keep on getting sidetracked. So what we wanted to do was we wanted to talk about Nexus letters. This is this is what we were trying to get to for some time. But like I said, if you have questions, never hesitate to ask. Just keep asking questions. Keep asking. Keep going along. Any issues you may have or something like that. Like I said, this is a learning thing. For me, like I said, I thought there was a bigger distinction when it came to the TDIU and 100% PNT. I was wrong. It is just more restrictions to it and the restriction of not being to earn an unlimited amount of income. But at the same time, it's a way to get 100% because of the fact that you are not able to or you don't have enough claims or percentages to get you to that 100% PNT. But you get the same things. I'm gonna do a deeper dive on that, and I'm gonna definitely do a deeper dive on that because I need to make sure that I have everything. Like I said, when I give you information on this channel, I like to make sure that I go through the regulation, go through the documentation, so that you have everything you need there. There you go. Okay, so this is back up. All right. So how we were talking about Nexus letters. So Nexus letters is the biggest thing really that most people tend to deal with and don't get all their information on and don't know how to fill it out correctly or don't fill it out in the proper manner. This right here is an example of how a VA Nexus letter should be written and how it should be formatted, how it should have everything in here. So basically, this is a way to basically show you what it is. I tried to look for the resource. The resource that most people go to is the M-21 that shows you uh the documentation of where it is. I have been having issues trying to pinpoint exactly where Nexus letter is because I'm trying to be able to give you that information directly where it shows you, hey, this is the reference, this is what the document looks like. This is the document, basically what I got off of other veterans, other Nexus letters that I have seen and stuff like that, and it's just there to basically inform people and know what it is, so that way people are aware and know what it is. Yeah, so that they're aware of it. Airborne, my man. Haven't seen you in a while. Appreciate you for the super sticker. How you doing, my man? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. I'm good to see you. Really good to see you. Haven't seen you in a couple of weeks. It's good to see when you tune back in. It's good to see when you tune back in. But yes, so this is basically the explanation of. See if I can make it a bit larger. Hold on. Thing. There you go. That way on mobile, y'all can see it a bit better. So this is basically what a Nexus letter should look like. I have another instance of it. I just have to give me a second. I'll pull it up. Let me search for it. I had it. Yeah, I have one for. Where is the other one? I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I'm just pulling it up because I have a couple of examples um of how they were written differently and stuff like that. But the thing is this is information that this is how you want to make sure you're at least formulating it so it has this information in it. So I have to see if I can add. Let me see if I can add this window. So here, so I have this also. So we have that. We have this Nexus letter, and we have the Adobe one. So we have two different ones to show. So let me show you what this one first then. Oh, this always makes it weird like that. Close this out. So this is one that somebody had from Vanderbilt University. So this was basically done through a university. So this information is basically given to you through the university of this is how they filled out a Nexus letter for a veteran basically. This was of November of 2022. So it's basically information, date of birth, social security. Or let's look at this time. So that way you can see the breakdown of what the information is. Can you explain also for military retirement pay? I can get to that in a bit, Deborah. It's that's always an issue when it comes to offsetting military pay and retirement pay. Um, it's a way of them doing that. Were you medically retired or were you just retired in full? Because the thing is for some reason you cannot gain both. You cannot keep both. Um, that's one that's hard to explain in a short manner. Um, the offsetting of the pay is just one of the other stupidities that it comes from the VA and medical. Uh, you did your time, you served your time, you should be compensated for that with retirement pay. But then the 100% VA is different. If you got medically retired, I know you have to have at least 30% of your thing. If you do the 20 years, it's that way. But they just do it. Why it offsets, I don't know the exact regulation for it, but I know there is. I know where to find it. I just don't know what exactly it is, and I'd be able to give that to you to point you out to that, so that you would be able to see that information. Because right now, off the top of my head, I cannot process where it is I need to find that to be able to give you that answer. And I don't just want to talk off the top of my head. Um, if I know Annette, I think might know. I was just like, look, also remember, there's people in this chat. If you have an answer, please make sure to give the answer. Keep in mind, if you're going to give an answer on the channel, make sure that you're doing it in a way where you know what you're talking about. You can resource and give the information to somebody else to do it so that they can get that information and look it up for themselves. Because at the same way, if anything gets put in the chat or anything like that, best believe I'm going to go and I'm gonna research it myself just to double check to make sure that that information is correct. And if I have to go and reach out to that person or something like that, I'll let them know or point it out in the next live. Um, but that one. I think I'm definitely gonna do a live on that one. You had medically, so that's the thing, since it because that's always the issue when it comes to it. The medically discharged, so the medical retirement is different because basically you got med boarded out. You have to have at least, I believe, is a 30% DOD. It's a 30% DOD rating in order to get both. If you just get like the 10%, which is what they try to just give people to just get them out the door and have them there, that's when they try to offset it. Why? I have no idea. because you still got you still got retired, but it was because of the military. It wasn't like you chose to do the shit. The military did it to you. But that's why most of the time they tell people that if you're gonna do all that time, just retire instead of getting medically retired. Because unless you get that 30, but the thing is you did over 20 years. If you did over 20 years, you shouldn't be dealing with that because most of the time that's for they try to offset it when it comes to that. But it if you get medically retired, it comes with the DOD rating and what that rating is for you to get both. You get both, but it's offset. I can't. I have to check. It depends. It could depend on the state also, due to the fact that whatever state you're in, they might be charging you taxes on it, and that might be offsetting it. Because the thing is some states don't tax your thing. Some states are retirement pay does not get taxed. Depending on your state, you may get taxed more, and that might be offsetting it, and you may be getting less for that reason because it does get taxed. If you go to a state like Texas or Kansas or um I believe Florida also, there's a couple of other states that basically if you have military retirement pay, it does not get taxed. So that might get offset. But besides that, I'm not too sure. Um Barry for myself is getting a doctor outside of the VA to write this letter without months of counseling or insurance. That's the thing, Airborne. The hardest part when it comes to getting these Nexus letters and stuff like that, you have to show some sort of thing. You have to show some sort of documentation of you going through this. No state tax. Um well, it because it could be no state. The state can have no state tax, but then it's different for retirement pay. Because you may have no state tax, but your retirement pay still gets taxed. But if you have that, if you did plus the 20 years, I that's why most of the time I know they say to just do the the regular retirement because I know with the medical retirement, that's where they tried to do it. I know they're trying to make that. I don't. It still hasn't gone anywhere, but it's the Major Richard Star Act that Congress is trying to do to try to make it so that if you do get medically retired, it is not held against you, and you still make that money, and it's not offset. So that's there. But Airborne, like I was saying, with these Nexus letters, the issue is you have to have some sort of time. You have to have some sort of time period when they checked it. Because, like, if you read this one, it basically tells you, like, when they were seen, how long they've been seen. He has been under the care of Hollywood APN since May 26th of 2022. And that's at least a couple of. So that's documentation you need to get, Airborne, because that's something that anything basically you are using your medical records to do that. And what it comes to is just like that Nexus letter is an outside provider saying, yes, I've seen them, I've diagnosed them with this, and this is something that I will what is the wording, because I saw it, there's like more likely than not. It's a specific wording that they used, and I saw it somewhere, and I can't remember if it was here, but it basically stated like, oh, here it goes. Let me minimize this one. This right here, where it says medical opinion, it is my professional medical opinion that it is at least as likely as not 50% or greater probability that the veteran's current condition is related to the service military. That's a statement that has to be in there through that. So if you are going through that and you're getting the VA to do it, you go through another doctor and it's like, look, this is all the documentation I have. I want to be seen by this. This is what it goes. The process is the thing is it's a slow process. That's where we run into a problem. It's a slow process to take care of that. It is not something that is just gonna go. It's gonna take some time because you need to build that information up to submit it. But you have documentation from the VA cognitive therapy you can use, and that's something that you got to make sure you're putting into. Hold on. Okay, so Deborah, this is what I basically found. So why the offset happens? Federal law, concurrent receipt rule. Prior to 2004, veterans could not receive both full military retirement pay and VA disability compensation simultaneously. This is because military retirement is considered taxable income, whereas VA disability compensation is tax free. To balance this, retired pay was reduced by the amount of VA disability compensation received. Tax implication: VA disability compensation is tax free, so the offset essentially replaces taxable retirement pay with non taxable disability compensation, often resulting in no financial loss for the veteran. That's what it says. In order to eliminate the offset, what most people do is that if you have the concurrent retirement disability pay, it's the CRDP program that you have to look into, and the CRSC, which is the combat related special compensation. So the CRDP allows for full concurrent receipt of both. So you have to look into that program, the CRDP. The CRSC, if it's a combat related issue, then from there you would be able to get you get the compensation, and then it basically helps reduce that offset. So that's what you have to look into, CRDP. Let me Give me 1 second. I'm looking for it so I can give you the. Okay, Deborah should be able to use this. I don't know if that came out right, but that's the link that basically was provided. Not sure if it'll pop up for you. For some reason, it's weird for me. But that's the link basically that explains through the defense finance, the DFAST, what it is. Um, I would have to do a deeper dive into that to get you more information, but that's all I have right now. Um, but yeah, airborne, same thing. You have the request, you have that information. That's something that you have to use. Because the thing is that the Nexus letter. The thing is the reason why the reason why it's so difficult right now is you got to remember a Nexus letter. A lot of these providers. You're welcome, Deborah. A lot of these providers do not want to put their name on this shit. Because the thing is we are having a big issue with veterans and fraud. So the thing is a lot of these providers are not willing to put their name on this documentation because it's basically like, hey, this person is saying, I am saying that this person got this because of their military time. The thing is if you don't have that documentation, you don't have that track record and stuff like that, providers I know are very hesitant to do it. You have a bunch of these other channels that have Nexus letter writers, which is questionable as shit. And you got to start thinking and realizing that, look, the VA is starting to catch on that, damn, everybody went to the same doctor. They're not going to tell you that they're catching on, but it's very easy to realize and notice when Airborne, Deborah, Annette, Cruz, anybody that comes into this chat, we all got the same doctor. Everybody just got the same doctor. Everybody just has the same doctor. And we all live spread out across this country. You don't find that kind of weird? You don't, just for a little instance, y'all don't find that kind of weird? I was just like, the VA ain't gonna tell you we noticed it. But the thing is then the VA, look, if I'm a VA raider and I see the same list, I see the same, look, I got 3 different case files, and I look at all 3 different case files. One is from Nevada, one is from Arizona, the other one is from like Maine. That shit look kind of weird. All 3 of y'all found the same doctor, went to the same doctor, so y'all all traveled to wherever this doctor says they're from, and y'all all got seen by this doctor, and y'all all got a Nexus letter stating that this was there, that yes, this was service connected. I was just like, hey, maybe they write it well. That's fine. But it starts looking a bit weird when you got people from all over the country filing the same Nexus letter with the same doctor. I was just like, this is the most known doctor in the damn states in the country if everybody got the same doctor putting the same damn information in there. I was just like, how is this doctor, like, what kind of doctor is this that he is an expert on everything? Like, bro, this dude should not just be a doctor. This dude should be like the head of damn nursing or something. You can't tell me that one doctor is providing all these Nexus letters for all these ailments and is an expert in all of these things. That's what people fail to realize. The thing about this Nexus letter is, I was just like, look, I, Dr. Jane Doe, a licensed board and certified medical professional in internal medicine, because that's what's going to be, because most of the time it's internal medicine, or it's, it's the general coverage of it. A Nexus letter holds more weight if you have it from a person or a doctor that is specifically dealing with the claim you are making. So let me say that again. If you have a Nexus letter, you are putting it with the person that is doing it. I did not reply because it's kind of a loaded question. You have terminal disability retirement list. You received a disability of less than 30%. You served. See, so Annette also, that's for Annette. I don't know if you can see that because you're on the mobile stream. But basically, Annette, let me see if I can copy this. Can I copy this? Copy, I'm going to paste this here. Because I don't think you can see it on both. So this is from Annette Baker, a member of the channel and a person I've assisted with their disability claim. This is the information she was able to provide on there. So I'm just pushing that out. So it should come out on both, but this was Annette Baker. I'm not taking responsibility for that information. That was Annette Baker basically putting that as information for Deborah, and that can assist you also. But like I said, it depends on your state and it depends on what you were medboarded, how you were medboarded, the criteria. But CDRP and CRSC are some stuff that can help offset it if you are. Those things I do not know well to give you even more information on, but that's what it is. And what was it? What do we see here? Q Hut asks, can a psych doctor fill out SMC aid and attendance form? What are the symptoms to qualify for, or lay statements? The thing is for SMC, there is a form for that. I don't know if I have it on my website. Do I have it on my website? I do not have that form on hand, Q hand. I would have to search it up. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I even have that. That's another one I need to add then. Compensation. PO decision, no request, nursing support, no. Request for no nursing home information, no. But that goes into it. If you're in a nursing home, it's 21-0779, which that I do have a link for. Copy. This is in regards to the nursing home information. If you're in a nursing home, you can use that. That's on my Google Drive. That's part of the list of the stuff that I have on there for the forms that I need to fix up. But that's the oh my God. When it comes to symptoms and stuff like that, Q, you have to look at what's there. I was like, you have aid in attendance. Symptoms that qualify for. Yeah, see, Annette, she said that she has 25 years of active duty and I'm on 100% disabled. I have to find a way to consolidate both those and be able to put it like above me so that y'all be able to see each other talk. Because the thing is, it's two different streams, one on mobile and then one on regular like PC and TV. But the thing is the chats don't merge. So I have to find a way of merging those together. So that way I can give y'all that information and y'all can see it this way. But if you're watching me on mobile, I'm also on like TV or the other version, the other stream. It's widescreen, so it's two different versions that I do, so that way people can see it in both ways. So, but yeah, that's the thing. Like I says here, if you have any, if you are going to get a Nexus letter, get a Nexus letter from a medical professional that is directly involved with the claim you are making. If you are having a, let's say, heart issue like that, high blood pressure, whatever like that, you want to go to a cardiologist to get that written. You ain't gonna go to just a regular doctor, because if you're a regular doctor, yes, you are a medical professional, you are a licensed medical professional, but you are not an expert in that field. Because the thing is it basically holds more weight when you are getting a Nexus letter from a professional in that field. If you are having something to do with your muscles or your bones and you go to a doctor that deals with that, then yes, that Nexus letter is going to hold a lot more weight than just a regular doctor stating that. Because the thing is if I am a medical professional that deals with your back, let's say I'm dealing with back issues, right? I'm gonna want to go to a specialist that looks into spines or something. Because remember, there's a specialist for damn near everything. Does it take a longer process to do? Yes. Is it more difficult to get the information in a timely manner? Yes. But at the end of the day, you will get there and you will deal with less issues by doing a half-ass job. You cannot do. You got to be high speed. Be high speed. Don't be the shitbag. Don't be the shitbag when it comes to your claims, because you do shitbag shit, you get shitbag results. You have to be high speed when it comes to getting your shit done, getting it documented. If it means it takes a bit longer, it takes a bit longer. But you got to remember, it's going to take a lot longer if you get denied. Because they're going to go through all that, then you're going to get denied. Then you're going to go through an appeal. And y'all have seen and heard from many other veterans how long these appeals may take. But if you have everything right the first time, you probably get approved. You probably get it good. And then if it is an appeal, at least you know you have everything you have, and then you're going through that, and then you can provide more stuff on top of that. But if you don't do a good enough job when it comes to filing it in the first place, you're going to run into issues. It's going to delay the process because you decided to do it this way. Then it's you just trying to reformulate the same thing, but you're not really making any changes. If you have a mental health issue, a internal medicine doctor does not hold weight. It holds weight because yes, it is a medical professional, but at the same time, you're telling me that a doctor that does general everything is gonna give you a Nexus letter over like PTSD. it's kind of hard to connect it, because then it's just like, yes, they are a medical professional, but they are not a specialist in this. Now, if you telling me it's a psychiatrist that has over 30 years of experience in this, and that, and it's PTSD, that's going to hold a lot more weight than, oh, I'm a medical practitioner that's been doing this for like 30 years, but I cover all and everything. You see what I'm saying? There's two differences there. That one letter holds weight because it is still a Nexus letter from a medical professional, but this is from somebody that is an expert and knows what PTSD is in and out. And this is a person that knows what PTSD is, but doesn't specifically know everything. So that's why I say Nexus letters are it's important. But introduction, that says, have reviewed the medical records, service records, and relevant documents provided for John Q. Veteran. Based on my medical expertise and a review of these records, I am providing this medical opinion regarding his claim for service connection of whatever the condition is. But like I said, this part here, this highlighted part, licensed and board certified medical professional in this here. This is the important part. That's the important part. Because if you are saying that you are a medical professional and you have a foot injury, but you deal with other shit, not with feet, it's let's put it like this. This is the easiest way. This is the easier way of saying it. I served in the military. I served in the army. But I am trying to tell you that what the Marines did is basically caused because of this. I have no fucking idea what the Marines did. I know that the Marines go through boot camp. I know they go through stuff. I know they go through their training first and then they get their job and then they get stationed somewhere. I know that, but do I know specifically what the Marines do? Do I know specifically what the training is? No, but I could definitely write a letter about being in the military. You see how that sounds? You see how that connection sounds right there, just to do it that way. That's the simplest way of me like explaining that Nexus letter part. I served in the military and I know that the Marines, the Coast Guard, and do this. I have no idea what the Coast Guard does. I know they were in the military. They went through some sort of boot camp. They probably on ships most of the time. Maybe not. I don't know. But I know it contributes to that, and I know they're contributing their time into the military might have caused them PTSD or might have caused them issues or whatever the case may be. If you're putting it that way, then it's just like, oh shit. Okay. Now when you see it that way, it's like, oh, okay. That's the Nexus letter you provided. And that's why it's probably, hey, these other things is just like, dude, you're providing a Nexus letter. And then that's the thing. With most people not knowing what a Nexus letter is supposed to look like, what it's supposed to have, it's easy for a veteran to go to one of these consulting agencies and get charged. Like I saw somewhere, I see there's another guy on TikTok that I think is like Veteran DP, I think his name is. Great information also. This dude, a lot of these people got years and years and years of been doing this. This is just my like what, year and a half, 2 years of getting this, but I'm trying to incorporate all the stuff that I see they miss out on that a lot of veterans are still needing. That's the thing in that way with Q Hut, he's asked this question. He's asked a couple of times when it comes to filling out the SMC, and it was just like SMC basically you still have to be SMC. You still have to follow the criteria that it is for SMC and file and figure out what it is that you are SMC and what you're claiming. It's not a this is just it kind of thing. Because if I look at the SMC, because SMCL basically, so this is I'm gonna show you. Let me bring this up. What the hell is that? Do 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 do. Boom, 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 boom. You know what? I'll put this in the link too. This is from another resource that I found. This one is not .gov affiliated. This is another page that I found this information from. What When I give information from something that is not a .gov, this is what I have found, a resource that I have used, but this is not where the actual documentation is. The actual documentation on that, if I'll show you real quick. Gonna do this real quick. No, it's this one. Is this. Did my camera just go off? Shit. Okay, hold on. Hold on, give me a sec, y'all. It seems like the camera overheated. But yes, this is it like this. It's covered in 38 USC 1114 and 38 CFR 3350. Basically, the breakdown of SMCL is currently an extra pay, and this is the criteria. So this is basically what you're using to view this information. This I gotta make a bit smaller. But that's basically how it highlights that, and that's the SMC. Like I said, that's where the regulation is, but this is a breakdown of another resource that I found that's useful to use. Go back to this form. And that's basically it. But like I said, that's the easiest way of explaining the easiest way of explaining, hey, this is what you have, this is what's going on, this is the medical professional that is an expert in this field providing you this information. This is not just a regular doctor or a general doctor. This is somebody specifically stating that, and that's what you need to use. Statement of review. And that this is basically also because I saw your question when you asked it. So this slide basically goes to that also. Just basically doing it. Because your question was what do you need to provide in a Nexus letter when you've already been denied? What you're trying to find out is one of the things that you want to make sure is in here, because it has the introduction, the statement of review, medical opinion, medical rationale. On your denial letter, what did it state? What information was in your denial letter? What did they say was the reason for your issue being denied? That is something you want to make sure it gets covered in that next Nexus letter. So it's just like, oh, the VA said it wasn't service connected because of this, and that. Okay. Well, this Nexus letter provides this, and that. Because now you are verifying and you are giving the information that is just like, you know what? I was denied because of this issue. Now I'm providing this information because of this. So this Nexus letter basically contradicts and goes against your findings of it not being service connected. Because how it look, this is how medical rationale. So the rationale for this opinion is based on the following: service connected to veteran condition. During his military service, Mr. Veteran, so he is asking you. Annette, he's asking, I'm not entirely sure because he's trying to get the SMC, but I've already told him we're going through the SMC. You still have to file the documentation through the SMC. You're gonna go and get evaluated for SMC. If you're homebound or aid in attendance, you have to have that documented. It has to be shown. So if your family member is a caregiver, or you are in a home, or you have a medical provider that has to specialize and take care of you, that's something that has to be documented, and he has to be able to show that. That has to be in writing. That has to be shown like, hey, this person takes care of me all the time. They're already receiving aid in attendance, which is like the minimum because they're being taken care of. Now, SMCL is basically like, hey, you may be bedridden. If you are bedridden and you need all this assistance, that's what it is. In his case, I believe he had a surgery which caused him to be bedridden. But the thing is in those instances, that is basically like getting the 100% P&T the temporary one, where basically they know because of your surgery you are going to be bedridden for some time, but after that they don't see you as bedridden. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I said with him, he has to make sure to explain that and get that um highlighted so he can show that, because otherwise it's going to be difficult to show, hey, this is what you're providing, this is what you're going through, this is what happened, this is why you are going to get approved for SMCL. Back to Nexus letters. So current diagnosis. So like I said, this is basically the explanation of this, the easiest way of doing it. Yes, I'm not sure if he hasn't been able to pull the resource. He has stopped by the channel, and he has left messages on a bunch of my other videos. I've tried to assist him as best I can. I've tried to show him that, hey, you probably, your best bet is to get with a VSO, and I've told him to have his wife reach out to a VSO to have this information so that they can get a clearer picture of what's needed. In his case, like I said, most of the time when it comes to here, I don't know specifics on everyone's case. I don't know specifically what you're going through, how you're dealing with it, what medical provider you're seeing, how the medical provider is diagnosing you. I don't know all of that, and I'm not asking for any of that information. When it comes to stuff like that, you want to go to a VSO. I told them the DAV, I told them the VFW, I told them the American Legion, so that way these people can assist you better. And especially if it's a housebound veteran, they're gonna assist the spouse, because it's just like, hey, they know the veteran can't reach out themselves. So if it's the spouse or a dependent asking, they always assist. That's the one thing. I haven't heard of the VA or the DAV, the BFW, or the American Legion saying no, we will not help you. So when it comes to cases like that, when it comes to specifics like that, I was just like, I can only do so much with the information I can provide and the documents and the regulation. Besides that, then you need to go talk to somebody to give you more specifics on that. I'm not super well versed on SMC. I'm not. I know stuff when it comes to dealing with the VA, but you have to keep in mind, I'm doing this on my own, and look at how much information the VA has. I'm not a full expert on this. If you notice, all these other consulting agencies have multiple consultants where each one of them picks a section of just like, oh, you have an issue with this, you're going to talk to so and so. You have an issue with this, you'll talk with this. Oh, that's your issue, I can take care of it. Like stuff like that. I'm the PVA. Can you type out what the PVA is, Annette? Because he's on this stream, so whatever you type out, he will see, or should see if he's still there. He should see that. With the mobile one is kind of different, but it's still there. It's still information that's available. Okay, let's try to round this up, because this one is not going to be. Damn, you know what? I forgot to damn transcribe all of this. Damn. Okay. Okay, so current diagnosis. So we said a service event condition. During training, psychological trauma due to combat, this event is well documented and the service records dated. You see, that's one of the things that is just like, it's well documented in his records. So basically, they're using that information off of what you already have to throw it in there. So basically, even if it's not in the service records, even if it's in your records outside of that, where it's notated that it is due to service time, or he got this injury during service and this has been notated multiple times and stuff like that. That's how you have to make sure you're writing it in there. Because now it's that doctor saying, I'm diagnosing him because of this event. And that's where you can write that buddy statement, get that buddy statement, or get that other get your own personal statement to attach to that Nexus letter. I was just like, yeah, this event happened or these events happened. Here are my buddy statements from buddies or dependent or whoever's writing this letter, stating this is what I seen and this is how it connects to what this Nexus letter is doing, as this is the event that the Nexus letter is providing. Causal link. Medical research supports a connection between specific severe condition, service condition, chronic joint injuries, exposure to loud, and the development of current condition. For example, cite relevant medical research or studies if applicable. The more information you can find, the better. You can even look up your own research and find information as to, hey, what does this entail? What is this? Paralyzed Veterans of America. Okay. So if QHUT, if you're still there, Paralyzed Veterans of America is the site you want to check out. So this is like I said, this is one of the things. Studies, research, whatever the case may be, if you have prior stuff that shows, hey, there's a connection between service members having this. The PACT Act is doing that also, because that's one of those causal links. Like, hey, I diagnosed them with this because of that, because we know this happened. But there's research also showing that, hey, veterans deal with back issues more because of the fact that they dealt with this, or they do. There's different things like that. So here it goes. Example. Studies show that repetitive joint strain during physically demanding activities, such as prolonged marching with heavy gear, can contribute to early onset arthritis. But there's a study showing that. So you would want to make sure that that medical professional has that. Remember, the medical professional is writing this Nexus letter. There's nothing that says you can't help them, because they are going to diagnose you. They know what's wrong with you. They can provide that. But if you doing research to show like, hey, look, I know you're diagnosing me with this, and I think it's because of my time in service, and I found this stuff there. That doctor's going to look at you like, okay, they doing their homework. I was like, I didn't even have to look at it, because you got to remember, these doctors deal with hundreds of patients. They're not going to remember every single thing. It's on the medical notes. They don't write every single thing. That's where you have to make sure you are doing your due diligence. This is stuff that is just like, yeah, look. And here it goes. Exposure to combat noise level above 85 decibels is a known risk factor for sensorineural hearing loss. As noted in the study, effects of military noise exposure on hearing loss. Journal of Occupational Health, 2018. I don't even know if that's real, but it's just an example. Let me see. I'm gonna actually search this shit. And there's actually links to it. The American Academy of Audiology, Military Service and Hearing Health, the Noise Study. And there's actual information on there. This is, hold on. Let me show y'all this. This is this is the actual study. I know it's difficult to see on thing, but Military Service and Hearing Health, the Noise Study. That's something you can just add. Nothing of loss there. You're not losing anything. You're just providing that information now. And now you have an extra piece of documentation which supports your claim. Dave, my man, appreciate seeing you, bro. I was just like, so this is something that you have there. So this is an actual. Oh, my man, joining the team. Appreciate you. And the gifts. Appreciate you, Dave. But yeah, so this basically is there. So now you have that information that is showing you, okay, this is what you have. This is what the doctor's diagnosing you with. This is documentation and information that is highlighted to you from actual studies that are corroborating what that medical professional is saying. So basically, now this doctor is telling you, yes, I'm diagnosing you with this. You have this. Here's a study that shows that what I'm saying actually makes sense or shows that it can be attributed to it. So that's examples of that causal link, because now that's showing that connection. That's showing that connection that most veterans fail to acknowledge and fail to put into any documentation. Because the thing is what you're going for, you're not going for a rating. Well, you're going for a rating, yes. You are going for service connection. That's what veterans need to reach for. That's what veterans need to get. It's not anything. Service connection. You need to get service connected, because once you get service connected, that opens up a whole bunch of different things. That opens up secondary claims. That opens up thank you, Dave. Thank you for the gifts, man. Appreciate you. That opens up a whole nother realm of stuff. Because now that you're service connected, that service connecting can lead to the service connection can lead to increases, which with the increases, you're able to get a higher percentage and you don't have to worry about service connecting extra stuff. With that service connection, now you have something that's connected that can cause secondaries. Now you can file for secondaries. The thing is you have to make sure you are getting that primary stuff in there. You have to get service connected. And with Nexus letters like this, which are better formulated, you have that ability. If you are not doing a in-depth Nexus letter and you're just doing that cookie cutter one that everybody's doing and filling out, then yeah. Like I said, if I start seeing 3 cases and y'all all went to the same doctor and y'all all live in different states, I'm going to be kind of skeptical. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to tell you I'm skeptical. But once I start, doctor, damn, this doctor everywhere. I'm going to start thinking I might start doing a deeper dive into your claim. And that's what people don't realize. I might take a bit longer to dissect and look at everything you are providing, because damn, you got the same ailments as, damn, I just saw that in the last case I did with the same doctor. It's the same shit. It starts looking like fraud, y'all. It starts looking questionable when you are looking at documentation and everybody got the same documentation. It's called plagiarism. Can't do it anywhere. Can't do it while you in college. I can't take somebody else's work and just put it on there, twist it up a bit, and then boom, submit. You're gonna be like, bro, who you copied this off? Failed. Oh, now you got kicked out of school. Now you lost all your. You see what I'm saying? That's the same thing that is happening with veterans, because the thing is they're going to start doing more in-depth checks. And if it comes to that, like I said, they're not going to state, oh, everybody got the same doctor. We just going to leave it at that. It's not going to happen that way. They're going to see like, oh, everybody got the same doctor. This shit looks weird. Y'all all got the same doctor. Y'all all got the same diagnosis. It's written the same way. It's the same study and all that stuff. But in that same time, that might work, might not work. Why? Because you may have MRIs, you may have X-rays. The more you provide, the better it is. Because then it's like, yeah, y'all all got the same doctor, but person number 1 has buddy statements, witness statements, MRIs, X-rays. Person 2 just has one X-ray. Person 3 just provided a Nexus letter and what they thought they had. Those are 3 different things, and those are 3 real causes and 3 real cases of how veterans submit their stuff. And yes, number 1 is going to get it approved. Number 2 and 3 are going to get denied, and then number 2 or 3 are going to wonder, why am I getting denied? Why is the VA not giving me this? Because the thing is some people think that it's just like, oh, just because I provided this Nexus letter, just because I provided this documentation, it's automatic, I got it. No, it doesn't work that way. That's what people need to realize. The more in depth you are with this stuff, the better chances you have. So in those cases, like I said, it gives you the example, the causal link, you have it, and you put that studies. The study says that this, and that. And that's what a lot of these consultants are basically doing. They're making sure that that stuff in there, but you still need a medical provider to sign off of it, which they have. They have somebody that's probably working with them, and they get paid off of whatever, how many times they do it. And then continuity of symptoms. Mr. Veteran has reported ongoing symptoms of whatever the condition is since leaving the service, as corroborated by post-service medical records. So here's what it's saying. You've been dealing with this issue since you left, and these are the medical records from provider, facility, starting in year. This establishes a continuity of symptoms linking the service event to his current condition. See how that wording is very descriptive? It's very straight to the point, but gives you the information like, yes, this service member went through this. They've been dealing with this. This is information that shows that it is likely, more than likely, caused by this time in service. This is what he's claiming. This is what he's dealing with. And those are the things there. That's what people need to think. And then this is one part that I don't see many people do have in theirs. Addressing contrary evidence. I have reviewed the VA compensation and pension exam or other evidence dated this day. While the examiner concluded, whatever, the evidence is not fully considered. The veteran's lay statements, updated diagnostic, imaging, or the chronic nature of condition. This is one that I can probably assure you most Nexus letter providers don't do. This is basically saying, look, I know what the hell I'm talking about. This person that did this examination overlooked this. They did not know about this. They didn't attribute this. They didn't look at this specific thing when it came to it. I was just like, this is basically this is your Nexus letter writer telling yo that CMP examiner full of shit. He don't know what he talking about. I'm the expert. What is it like the Captain Phillips? I'm the expert. that's literally what it's saying. It's the nicest way of putting it. I'm the expert. That CMP examiner was not an expert. Because the thing is sometimes you got to remember, all them CMP examiners are not specific experts in their fields. They may be like how we'll go right back all the way to the top. Professional in internal medicine. That professional in internal medicine is not an expert in that specific field that you are getting and filing this disability claim for. 2 different things, 2 different interactions, 2 specifically different cases, basically. Same person, same information, 2 descriptions. One from a person that just studies it as a general thing and just does the CMP, and one that is a profound expert that has years of expertise in that specific field. Those 2 things are very different, and those 2 answers can be very, like, it's you asking a question and having somebody that kind of knows about the stuff and then somebody that works doing that stuff. Look at that difference in what I'm saying. And that's how you write it. But providers information. You have that, Dr. Jane Doe, MD, board certified this, their address, where it is, their phone number, email, their license number, And shit, you can even provide that documentation for it, which which shouldn't be an issue. But like I said, it's you making a statement and you trying to have somebody put their information stating that yes, this is service connected. This is what I diagnosed them with. Yes, they are dealing with this. If you are lying, you are basically putting their job in jeopardy. That's why a lot of providers are very hesitant to do it because they know there's a lot of veterans that just, hey, I just want to get 100% PNT, 100% PNT. If you got the same benefits through TDIU, you get TDIU and just get increases, which I'm still going to look that up. I still got to double check that because I find that crazy. But these are the things you want to highlight when it comes to a Nexus letter. And this will be up on the site also. And there's different ones. I'll try to see if I can provide like specific writings for each one and just have it like Nexus letters template and have it. And just that way you can break it down into these are the different Nexus letters. These are the different types. This is what it should say. But this is a general information one that basically, hey, all of your Nexus letters should have this. And usually it will have like the stamp of that doctor. So this is the one I was gonna show y'all here. So give me 1 second while I change that. I need to change this so I can do that easier. There we go. So here is basically Vanderbilt University's medical center. This is something that they did. Department of Otolaryngology, head and neck surgery. So there you see that this is specifically for something. Head and neck to otolaryngology. So this letter is on behalf of John Doe, who is under my medical care at Vanderbilt University Medical Center in Nashville, Tennessee. I am in you read that. Specializing in rhinology, and I have been treating Mr. since September 2018. Mind you, this is 2022, but there's a statement like, hey, I've been doing this since 2018 for chronic pancreatitis, chronic allergic rhinitis, and obstructive sleep apnea. Because remember, it's head, neck surgery, and otolaryngology, whatever that is. He reports no sinus or allergy issues prior to his military service. So basically, it's basically saying he did not deal with this issue prior. You ain't have no issues. You ain't have nothing documented. He was last seen in my clinic on November 3rd, 2022 for a follow-up with continued symptoms of congestion and nasal drainage. The decision was made to continue to treat him conservatively with medical management and no surgical intervention at this time. Mr. Doe has also struggled with snoring, daytime fatigue, and difficulty breathing. Because the symptoms of sinusitis make it more difficult to breathe while sleeping, someone diagnosed with chronic sinusitis is more prone to developing sleep apnea. Sleep apnea that is associated with chronic sinusitis can be treated more effectively once the sinusitis is treated. I referred Mr. Doe to Vanderbilt University for Sleep Center Disorder Clinic for further workup and treatment. He has been under the care of that. So basically, in this instance, this medical provider is basically saying, look, I've been treating this person. I've been seeing him with this. This is something that he's been dealing with. So I referred him to another doctor to take care of this other issue that he is probably dealing with. Not saying that he's not diagnosing it. He's not diagnosing it. He's diagnosing the rhinitis. But remember, if you have one Nexus letter that is stating, hey, this is what I'm treating him for and this is it, now this can lead to a second Nexus letter when it comes to sleep apnea. Because now your first provider is saying, look, he's been dealing with this and this is what's causing it. Now, this can cause this, meaning you can get the chronic rhinitis for your primary, get that approved, and then now you can commit that to a secondary, which was sleep apnea. You see how that connected right there? That's just off of one Nexus letter, but you still got to do the work for the other one. Dr. Doe served in the United States of America Army, which included deployment to Southeast Asia Theater, Persian Gulf from 97 to 98. During this time, he was exposed to airborne toxins and burn pits, which would be a PACT Act claim, but you can still attribute that. There has been studies completed by the Veterans Administrative that concludes burn pit exposure associated with chronic asthma, rhinitis, and sinusitis for veterans who served in the Southwest East Theater, and that operations beginning there. So basically, this medical provider used the VA information to corroborate what it is. He didn't need an outside medical study. This is basically, hey, you, the VA, have stated that this can cause this. Their time in service can cause this. I'm diagnosing him with this because I've been treating him with it. He didn't have this issue prior to service. He's received it after service, while in service. This is what he's dealing with now, and this is how his time in service contributed to this issue. After review, medical records, I am not aware of any other known risk factors that may have precipitated this thing. I don't see any other reason besides the military. It is my medical opinion as a trained and experienced neurologist that John Doe's sinus issues are more than likely related to his exposure of toxic burn pits. If you have any questions or concerns, here's the thing. And then this is another one. This is, I am a nurse practitioner in the sleep division of the head and neck surgery department at Vanderbilt. The letter of support is written with regard to John Doe, presented to my clinic initially in May 12 with complaints of snoring. So basically, this is both Nexus letters contributing to each other and in addition to. So like I said, you have chronic rhinitis. Your secondary now is sleep apnea. And it provides basically the same thing. Studies completed by the Veterans Administration have concluded burn pit and stuff like that. Another study conducted on the World Trade Center responders with toxic dust and fume exposures has identified chronic rhinitis as an independent risk factor for the development of chronic rhinitis. Can be significant contributing factor to CPAP tolerance issues. After review history, severe obstructive sleep apnea may be related to his, which may be related to his toxic exposure during the thing. So this sleep apnea connection isn't as strong, but it is definitely still putting that information in there like, hey, he didn't have any of this before. He served during burn pits. He served during this. He got exposed to it. He's dealing with sleep apnea and he has obstructive sleep apnea, severe. This is the issue that was caused because of the military time and stuff, because he didn't have it prior. He's been seen for rhinitis, which is the above Nexus letter. And these are the outcomes that I found through his severe thing, tying it to his time in service in the United States Army. That's the part where most people don't have that. They don't see that. That's the part you need to see. That's the part you need to make sure you're doing. You got two different Nexus letters, one contributing to the other. So basically, it's not two separate things. It is literally through that same medical professional. Basically, that first one is the one that was seeing you for this thing. I referred him to this other thing because I knew he was dealing with issues. And then that other location did it. Now, the thing is like Vanderbilt University wrote the thing. Does it mean that they're always going to? No. That's why I say it's difficult, because it's not always going to be people that are automatically writing these letters for you. You have to keep that in mind, have to take that in consideration. Some of these will be put in there, some of them will not. Some of them will write these statements. Some of them will do this part. The addressing contrary evidence. Some of them will do that, some of them will not. But as you saw with that example, it didn't have any of that. I was just basically explaining to you what it is, how long they've been taken care for, basically what we went over the general one, but this one is a more solidified, and like I said, it's a specialist that deals with rhinitis, sinusitis, and stuff like that, not a general practitioner. A professional that deals with that understands that I deal with people that have chronic sinusitis and rhinitis, and that leads to them having sleep apnea. because that's something that he has observed, and that's why he sent them to a specialist to be seen. So those are things that people need to keep in mind, and those are the things that attribute to each other that most people don't see and don't realize. Um, and that's one of the main things. Uh, yeah. So that's one of the main things that when it comes to it that people need to realize, need to pay attention to. These are things that are important for you to, how would you say, understand when it comes to writing your Nexus letter. This is the information you need. That's the description. That's the plain and simple how to. This is what you got to do. This is what it is. This is what it looks like. This is the information you need to provide. Keep in mind, you have to have the diagnosis. Keep in mind, if you're going for sleep apnea, you need that sleep study. You need that buddy statement. You need that witness statement. You need your statement. Be high speed. Be high speed in all you do when it comes to filing your disability claim. Find the information, find the resources. Like I said, we're working on the website. The website is going to be up. Hold on. It's going to be up by the beginning of the year. We're starting off the year with the website up. So this is something you got to keep in mind. This will be there for people to use. Resource, have all the VA forms that I can think of, I can find. As I keep on finding them, I will add to them. The same thing with the DBQs. It hasn't been added onto this here, but frequently asked questions, VA forms. Got the podcast. If anybody wants to tune in and listen, we'll keep on making more of those. And it's probably going to be just on topics just like how it is now and stuff. So, but that's mostly it, y'all. That's what we're going to be doing. That's how it's going to resort to. That's the information. Record brief is just literally this. Contact us is a contact page, name, email, message, any information you want to send us and stuff like that. That'll be there. Consultations, like I said, will be on hold. I need to make sure it is properly done, but the website and the link will be up. Resources will be there. At the bottom of the page is basically if you would like to donate to the channel, we'll have links to this. And basically, if you want to donate to the channel, it can be how can you supporting the Veteran Awareness Project. You'll have a donations link. If you want to donate, you'll have affiliate link purchases, which is basically we will put stuff that we use, stuff that we know veterans can use and is benefit to them. It'll be affiliate links, just so that way, hey, if you want to purchase something, you can purchase it through there. You're gonna buy it anyway, right? When is the podcast, Annette? That one. I do podcasts every now and then. It's been a while. I have one episode that I still haven't published. But it's out there. It's on the playlist also for the channel. It's 19 episodes I have right now. But they've been sparingly made because it's working on all this other stuff. So once we have a streamlined thing, like I graduate in May. Master's degree will be complete. I'll graduate in May. That means I do not have school, meaning I have the time and I will have the ability to make and keep on grinding out all this stuff. But yeah, the podcast is there. It's on the channel. You can tune into it there. It'll be Amazon wishlist contributions, which will be just stuff that, hey, this will help the channel. Little purchases here and there. I'll probably put like couple of outrageous things that I don't want people to actually get, but just like little stuff, like when it comes to, even if it's like notepads, pencils, stuff for the computer, like memory or like stuff like that, a damn pad for the floor so my chair doesn't roll off and doesn't give me damn static shock. So stuff like that, like that'll be on the Amazon wish list. YouTube memberships, that's, hey, if you want to become a member, cheapest one is 99 cents. Next one I believe is like $5. There's the $5 one, then there's the $10 one, and then the last one I think I'm gonna remove because I'm not having anybody pay like $25 a month. If you want to, sure. Hey, I'm not gonna deny. And then the merchandise is basically that one. We have the shop that is connected to YouTube, but that one I'm trying to make it so that it's not as costly for people, because some of these are pretty costly towards people, and I don't want to pay those prices, and I don't want y'all to pay those prices. But all those donations and stuff like that will go to support the channel, and then to provide community outreach programs, that which I'm trying to do for the community I reside at, for the kids around the neighborhood that don't have the resources. So we will be doing that also. We'll be putting that out there for donations. It'll be uh it's too late now, but we were gonna try to do like a coat drive. That one will definitely be in place for next year, and then also a kids haircut. So first day of school haircut thing, which I spoke about earlier, which is in conjunction with the hair and salon school here. So basically to give kids that maybe can't afford a whole bunch of haircuts and stuff like that, so that way those donations will go to making it that, hey, every year we'll make it an annual thing, make sure to record it, or maybe do a live doing it, kids going to get their haircut for free, and that'll be something that you guys would be able to donate to and assist those kids with doing. But it's just like little projects and programs basically for the kids here, and all that stuff, like I said, all that stuff is going to be visual. Y'all gonna see it, y'all gonna be a part of it. If y'all contribute to it, y'all get a shout out and appreciate all that for it. But yeah, this is what we're gonna do next year. I'm expecting big things, and I thank y'all for being a part of it. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank you for suggestions, comments, answers, um helping me learn, helping yourselves learn, helping other veterans learn. Airborne, thank you for the $5 super chat and the sticker. Like I said, I appreciate all of y'all. Thank you for your service. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for being here. We're gonna end this, like I said, we're gonna do 2-hour sessions. We're not gonna go past that. We hit the 2-hour mark. But we will do this again next Sunday. Every Sunday, 12 noon Central Time. We do these workshops. We'll see what the next topic is for next week. This week it was Nexus letters, how to go over them, how to do it, and then answers in between. We'll see what we do with that. But like I said, if it goes to questions and stuff like that, make sure to put them in the comments of this video. Make sure to put them in any of the other videos of the workshops that I have, so that way I can start formulating stuff that way. Also, if you haven't noticed, I do those community questions. If you have community questions and they're put out there, ask there, leave a comment. If you didn't know, if you didn't know, answer the question, because that lets me know what veterans are aware of, what veterans need more information on, and stuff like that. As always, be good to one another, take care of one another, look out for one another, love one another, and stay marvelous while doing it. I'm just Cruz. I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good rest of y'all Sunday. Relax. Try to burn off some of that Thanksgiving food y'all got. Enjoy. I will see y'all at some point throughout the week. Make sure if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Make sure your notifications is on, so that way when we do these pop-up ones, you can get notified and you get that alert like, hey, another veteran awareness project Q&A workshop is in place. Tune in so you can get information, ask your questions, be more knowledgeable, and be able to assist other veterans at the same time and benefit yourself and your families. As you see it there, we're guiding veterans to the benefits they've earned. We're going to keep on doing that, and that's what we're going to move forward with. So, as always, I appreciate y'all. Y'all have yourselves a good rest of your day. See y'all on the next time. Cruz, signing out. Peace.